Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 4 of eYantra SparkFire Robotic Workshop. Okay. Today we'll start with LCD interfacing on SparkFire Robot. Okay. Before we proceed further, I request all the participants to kindly mute their audio and turn off the video so that we can utilize the bandwidth effectively. Okay. Firstly, if any queries or any discrepancies or any issues, kindly ping in the chat box. Okay. Yes, we all know that in every embedded system application, display units are most commonly used as output devices. Okay. Because these output devices are very important so that a microcontroller can process the data and display on the display units. Okay, one such display that we are going to discuss in this session is LCD. Then what is an LCD? It's a flat and thin panel used for electronically displaying information like text, images, and moving picture. Okay. Using this display, we can display the ASCII equivalent of the characters, numbers. We can also display images. Along with that, we can display moving picture. The main reason for choosing LCD over other display systems are LCDs are completely economical in nature. It is completely affordable and anybody can buy and use it for their academic project. And these devices are easy to use. And these are the most commonly used display devices in all the embedded systems. Because of this economical and easy to use, we prefer LCD over other display systems. There are a variety of liquid crystal display available in the market, like one-line LCD, two-line LCD, four-line LCD. But as per the academic projects are concerned, the most widely used display are 16 cross 2 LCD. Okay, 16 cross 2 LCD is the most commonly used because in each line we can display 16 characters at a time. Since we have two lines in the LCD, we can display a maximum of 32 characters. These are some of the examples where we are already using LCD in our consumer electronic application. One such application is set-top boxes and alarm clock. And even in your scientific calculator, we are using LCD as a flat thin panel where we can perform arithmetic operation, where we can display the results of computation in a scientific calculator application. The LCD which we are using in our SparkFire robot is HD44780 dot matrix LCD controller. Using this LCD, we can display 16 characters in two lines. Totally, a 32 character can be displayed at the same time. Okay, the LCD we are using in the SparkFire robot. Moving on to the next slide. Here we have a pin configuration for the LCD. You can observe that 16 cross 2 LCD is mounted in the SparkFire robot. And along with that, we have a potentiometer. Using this potentiometer, we can adjust the contrast. And additionally, we have a backlight controller to control the backlight of the LCD. And how many pins the LCD consists of? The LCD pin consists of totally 16 pins. These 16 pins can be divided into 5 categories. VSS, VDD are called as power pin. Here we apply 0 volts and operating voltage is required to turn on the LCD. In this case, the 5 volts is the VDD that we are going to apply to display the characters on the LCD. Similarly, we have one more pin called VEE. Okay, this VEE is called as contrast voltage pin, where we can set the contrast of the LCD required as per the perception of the human eye. And along with that, we have one more category of pin called control pins. These control pins are very important to control the data as well as the command to be displayed on the LCD. Okay. And we have a data pins. Okay, this is most important. Using this pin, we can send the command as well as the data to be displayed on the LCD. And lastly, we have backlight control pins. Therefore, the 5 categories are VSS VDD power pins, VE contrast pin, RS RW enable control pin, D0 to D7 data pin, VDD, VSS are the backlight. You can observe that all the 16 pins, some or the other, we can predict some operations just based on their name, except the control pins. VDD, VSS, we can say 0 volts, 5 volts, and we can vary the contrast using potentiometer. D0 to D7, we can send the data. Just by their name, we can predict the operation. But the most important thing you have to understand here is the operation of control pin, because this is significant in LCD. Then which are the control pins we are using in an LCD? The first control pin is register select. This register select is used to decide whether we want to send a command or whether we want to send the actual data to be displayed on this LCD. Okay, we can set to either 0 or 1. We make a register select bit as 0, we can send the command through the data pins of the LCD. If we make RS equal to 1, we can send the actual data to be displayed on the LCD. Therefore, as a programmer, we should know that whether we want to send the command or whether we want to send the data. If you want to send a command, you have to make this bit 0. Otherwise, you have to make this particular bit as 1. Okay, the second important control pin is read or write pin. Okay, now we have to decide whether you want to read the data from the LCD module or whether you want to write the data to the LCD module. Okay, the reading and writing operation can be accomplished by making RW0 and RW1. If RW is 0, we can write the data to the LCD. If RW is 1, you can read the data from the LCD module. Okay, at this point, making 0 and 1, the data to be written or data to be read will be available in the data pin. But if you want to display the written data in the LCD, the most important control signal you have to use in our application is enable. The enable signal is used to latch the data present on the data pin. And what do you mean by this latch the data? You make RS equal to 0. Assume that I want to send a command like 28H in EXA. This 28H will be available in the data pin as a queue. But if you want to send this command through the data pins, we have to apply high to low edge pulse, and a high to low edge pulse of 450 nanosecond is sufficient to latch the data or command present in the data pins. Therefore, from this slide, the most important parameter you should know is that if you want to send a command, make RS 0. If you want to send the data, make RS equal to 1. If you want to write the data to the LCD, make 0. If you want to read the data from LCD, make RW equal to 1. But once you set these parameters, make sure that a high to low pulse is applied to send the data as well as a command to the LCD. Then how your data lines work? There are 8 data pins available, D0 to D7 in our LCD. These D0 to D7 accept both the command as well as the data. Since we can send the data and command through the same data pin, we can call this data pin as a bidirectional data pin. Okay? D0 to D7 is not unidirectional pin. It works as a bidirectional data pin. Or we can send the commands through this data pin. Then how we can send the command and the data? Only by using ASCII equivalent for the alphanumeric character. You can observe that every character in our keyboard, especially in our computer keyboard, if we type A, B, and C, have a corresponding ASCII equivalent for that. the ASCII equivalent should be communicated through this data pin to display the data on the LCD. Then how we can operate the LCD? There are two methods where we can interface the LCD with a microcontroller in 8-bit mode or in 4-bit mode. In 8-bit mode, all the data pins are free for us and there is no ambiguity to send the data as well as a command through this data pins. And additionally, to send the data through this pin, we are using 3 control signals. These control signals are register select, read or write, and enable pins. But in this case, the number of input output lines are significantly increasing. Totally, we need 11 IO lines to send the data or command. But our objective in every embedded system is to reduce the number of IO lines so that we can utilize the available system buses effectively. Therefore, to reduce the number of IO lines, we can use 4-bit mode. In 4-bit mode, instead of sending the data or command through D0 to D7, only DB4 to DB7 higher order data pins are free for us and the lower order data pins are completely masked. In this case, I need 4 data lines to send the data and command, and we need again 3 control signal to send the command on data. You can observe that here we have 11 IO lines. By reducing the data lines to 4, the number of IO lines can be significantly reduced to 7. Means almost up to 60% of IO lines can be reduced if we operate the LCD in 4-bit mode. Okay, and this 4-bit mode is most commonly used nowadays in almost every embedded system application. But over the past decades, we were using only 8-bit mode where the number of IO lines will significantly increase. But due to this 4-bit mode, we are reducing the number of IO lines by programming through DB4 to DB7 to send the data as well as the command. Then the question is how to send the information, 8-bit information using 4-bit data pins. The answer for this is we have to send that 8-bit information as upper nibble and lower nibble. Upper nibble is nothing but 4 bits of most significant 4 bits of the byte data, and lower nibble is nothing but lower 4 bits of the 8-bit data. All this information you can easily understand with this animation diagram. Here I want to display the data Y. The binary value of ASCII is 01011001 and decimal equivalent is 89. And the first picture gives information about how to use 8-bit mode. The second slide gives information about how to use 4-bit mode. Here you can observe that RS is 1, RW is 0. If RS is 1, I can send the data. If RW is 0, we can write the data to the LCD. Initially, enable is 0. Now you can observe that all the 8-bit data is available through this data pin. Once it enable signal is applied to 1 and 0, Y is displayed. But here we are sending the data in terms of nibbles, upper nibble and lower data. You have to split into 2 parts. These 2 parts you have to apply to higher order data pins, and the lower order data pins are completely masked. Okay, in this way we can differentiate the working principle of 8-bit mode and 4-bit mode. Into the interfacing diagram. Okay. In the interfacing part, LCD is connected to 0th pin. RS is connected to 0th pin. RW is connected to first pin of port C. Enable pin is connected to second pin of port C. Data pins are connected to 4th pin to 7th pin of LCD. Okay, now our objective is to configure all these particular pins as output. Let's see how we can do this. Before that, these are the commands that are useful for us. Every LCD will not directly display the data. Instead of directly displaying the data, we have to send the command. Then which are the commands are useful for us? We want to work with a 4-bit mode. We have to use a command 28H. Suppose if any garbage values of previously programmed data is already displayed in the LCD, we have to clear the display by sending the command 01H. Okay. Once the first data is displayed, we have to increment the cursor and blink the cursor. This is possible by sending the command 0F. And after displaying all the 32 characters, suppose if you want to return to the first line, first position, you have to use a return home command by sending 0 to H. Therefore, in 4-bit interfacing, these are the commands which are useful for us. 28, 01, 02, 0F, 80 and C0. Okay, you should know these commands before displaying actual data on the LCD. And LCD interfacing involves 3 important segments. One is port configuration and resetting the LCD. And the second operation is LCD initialization. And the third operation is communication with the LCD. Let's see how we can do this. Firstly, port configuration. In port configuration, can observe that all the data pins, read-w pins and data pins are connected to port C, 0, pin, first pin, second pin, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. But pin number 3 is not connected to any LCD pins. Now, if I want to configure these particular pins as output, tell me the XOR equivalent to be sent to the register. Kindly answer in the chat box. I want to configure these pins as an output pins. Tell me the instruction or command to set the direction. Kindly answer in the chat box. Tell me the command DDRC equal to. Nobody is responding. I want to configure these as output. Tell me the direction value using DDR register. Okay, Kiran PS, Kusum Jain, Sinchana, Tirumalesh, Jeevan William, Sivsagar. Okay, excellent. Everybody is answering. Okay, thank you for your answer. This is the command we have to write to configure the particular pins as output. DDRC equal to DDRC or with 0xF7. Okay, now after setting this direction, temporarily we want all these pins to be 0. Means I want to turn off all the pins in the LCD which are utilized for the programming purpose. This can be performed by writing this command port C equal to port C and of 0x80. Okay, here you might get question that all the pins you have to make it as 0, but why PC7 is programmed as 1? Why we have written PC7 bit as 1? It's mainly due to give information the user that whether LCD is busy in accepting the data or whether LCD is free to accept the data. In order to check whether LCD is busy or free, we are writing PC7 particular pin as 1 and the remaining pins as 0. Okay. Okay, this is the flow chart to understand the LCD operation easily. First step is we have to configure port. How we can configure the port pins of the LCD? Just now I have explained in the previous slide. We have to make that all the pins of the LCD as an output pin. Except busy pin, we have to turn off other pins of the LCD to make sure that your data and your command can be initialized in the next step. Therefore, the first step in all the LCD program is to decide the direction and writing the value to turn off the LCD. And the second step, we have to utilize the commands like rs, rw. Have to set rs equal to 0 because we have to send the command. Then we are writing the command to the LCD. We have to make rw equal to 0. After setting these two control signal, the first operation is I have to reset the LCD by sending the command 30H 3 times. Okay, this is the standard rule to use your LCD in 4-bit mode. We have to send 30 in terms of nibbles to utilize the LCD in 4-bit mode. We have to send this command 3 times to initialize the LCD in 4-bit mode. But the condition is that as long as you don't send an enable signal of one high to low pulse, these commands will not be latched in the data pins of the LCD. Therefore, it is must that even though you send a data or command, enable pulse of high to low is must to latch this commands or data in the LCD pin. But again, to send this data 3 times, make sure that RS is 0 and RW is 0. Okay, once LCD is reset, next we have to initialize the LCD operation in 4-bit mode. How we can operate this in 4-bit mode? By sending all these commands. Firstly, you have to work with the 4-bit mode. You have to send the command 28H. Secondly, you have to clear the display in order to avoid any garbage value. And once you want to display any character or any data, the cursor should increment automatically by sending the command 06H. If you want to turn on display and cursor should on, you have to send the command 0EH. And the most important command is 80. I already explained in the previous slide, we have 2 lines in the LCD. If you want to display the message like a VVC is great or your name itself, you want to set whether you want that data to be displayed in first line or second line. If you want to utilize the first line, you have to send the command 80. If you want to utilize the command second line, you have to use C0. Therefore, 80 and C0 are the 2 commands used for selection of the first line or second line to be utilized. And this is the most important flow chart for command and data. Firstly, we have to check RS. If RS is 0, command register can be selected. If RS is 1, data register can be selected. If RS is 0, these are the steps we need to perform. If RS is 1, these are the steps we need to perform. First, we have to mask lower 4-bit. Then we have to send higher nipple, enable signal, mask higher bit, mask lower bit, LCD enable, stop. Similar operation, we have to do it for data. Let's see with the example how to perform this operation. Okay, assume that I want to send the data 28H. This data I will store it in a keyword command, and the same command data I will store it in a temporary variable temp. Okay. Now temp will contain 28H. Okay, now my objective is to divide this 28 into upper nibble and lower nibble. This upper nibble data to be sent first, then lower nibble data to be sent next. Okay, let me start with the reaching the objective of higher nibble. What temp contains? 28. 28H. I'm doing logical AND operation with F0. What is the result after performing 28H logical AND operation with F0? Kindly answer in the chat box. What's the result of AND operation between 28H and F0? Kindly answer in the chat box. Tirumalesh answered as the 20. Jagat Madappa 20. Sinchana Kiran PS. Yashaswini. Okay. Very good. The result after performing masking operation is 20. You can observe that we have reached the first objective. We got a higher nibble. This higher nibble data we need to send to the LCD data pins. Okay, we have D4 to D7 in the LCD pin. We have to send this upper nibble information. Therefore, first objective is achieved. Similarly, I have a same command. Now my objective is to send lower nibbles. This 20H will be available in command. I'm moving that to temporary variable. Instead of performing logical and operation, here I have to perform left shift. Left shift by a factor of 4. Let's see how we can do this. I will move this 0th bit to MSB, MSB bit to LSB. I will move the LSB bit to next position. Next position. I will shift, shift again, shift again. And after performing shift operation first time, this is the result obtained. And after performing second shift operation, these are the results obtained. And the most difficulty you will face is that most of you will consider original information for left shift operation. It's wrong. Data, perform left shift operation, obtain the first step result. Use this data, perform left shift operation of this first shift result, obtain second one. This is the third left shift result, fourth left shift result. Now we have arrived meeting the second objective. What is the result of performing logical AND operation between the fourth left shift result with F0? Kindly answer in the chat box. What is the result of logical AND operation between F0 and fourth left shift result? Okay. You have to perform left AND operation for this data and F0. Okay. Kusum Jain, Tejaswini, Kulsum, Edwin Sarisa, Jagat has answered. Yes, exactly. It is 80. Okay. We are finalizing the last information of lower nibbles. This information to be sent to the data pins. I think you have understood how we send the information of upper nibble and lower nibbles to the data pins. Okay, in the earlier slide, I sent the data to. Now, by performing left shift operation and masking, I'm sending the lower nibble information. Coming to the programming aspect of LCD, as these slides are already explained by the Rohit sir and Sharat sir, I will not take much of their time. Here I am using Atmel Studio to program the LCD. We can achieve the X file, and as well as we can solve all the syntactical error problems in the Atmel Studio. And similarly, I'm using a AVI bootloader to dump the X file to the ROM of your microcontroller. Coming to the program structure, as already explained by Rohit sir and Sharat sir, every program should have header file, pin configuration, functions, and main program. Let's see one by one. Under header file section, I am declaring the clock frequency of the microcontroller using #define directive by using the name f_CPU. And after that, to utilize the input output operations for my program, I'm using avr/io.h. Suppose by chance, if anybody press the onboard reset button, interrupt will occur. We have to solve this interrupt by jumping to interrupt service routine. To accomplish those tasks, we are using avr/interrupt.h, and every character should have some delay such that our human eye can easily perceive how actually the data is being displayed on the LCD. Okay, once the header files are declared, the pin number itself is declared as a constant here. You can observe that RS is pin number 0, RW is pin number 1, enable is pin number 2. These 2 or 3 pin numbers are defined as a constant, and LCD ports are declared as a LCD underscore port. Since we are using port C, we are using the label for this port C as LCD underscore port. Okay, after declaring the constant, here I declaring the macros. Simultaneously, we have to make this RS as 0, RW as 1 to 0 and 0 to 1, enable as high to low pulse and low to high pulse. To set and clear the particular value of this register, I have written the macro using S bit and clear bit. S bit will set the bit of any register to 1. C bit will clear the content of the register to 0. Okay, and these are the function declaration section. These functions are utilizing the function definition. As you all know that every embedded system function should have function declaration and function definition. Here I have declared all the function declaration followed by a global variable as an unsigned integer. Let's see how we can do this in the function definition part. Okay. The next step is to initialize and configure the port pins. As I already explained in the earlier slide, we have to set the port P, port C direction as F7. And after that, we have to check the busy flag by writing the content 80 to all the pins. Initially, we are turning off this LCD pin and we are setting the direction to F7. After that, I wrote a function for port initialization. Here I am configuring the port pins as output. And the most important thing is this one. We are initializing the LCD. To initialize the LCD, we have to perform reset operation. You can observe that RS is 0, RW is 0. I'm sending the command 30. We have to enable this signal by sending high low pulse. High can be performed by S bit and low I'm performing by C bit. Okay. This complete 5 lines of information. I'm sending 30H command one time. The same command you are sending again 30 second time, and similarly you are sending the same command third time. Therefore, we are sending 30H 3 times to reset the LCD. After resetting the LCD, again we have to initialize 4-bit mode. To initialize 4-bit mode, we have to send the command 20H. Okay, here you need not to send this again 3 times. Just only sending 1 time is sufficient to initialize the LCD in 4-bit mode. Okay, and it's just a copy paste operation. 3 times data and initialize LCD in 4-bit mode by sending 20. And these are the commands utilized for LCD initialization. I already explained these commands in flowchart. 20H8 4-bit mode, 01H clear display on, further blinking, 80 first time, 0E display increment the cursor. Okay, these commands are already explained in the previous. Now coming to the command and data send. Okay. Okay, assume that the command is 28H. I'm masking the lower 4 bits. I'm resetting the LCD data pins because we are sending the upper nipple information in D4 to D7. Hence, I'm turning off that pin. And I'm sending the upper nipple 2 by performing logical OR operation. Means here I'm sending higher nipple. But to latch this higher nipple, we have to make this RS as 0, RW as 0, enable as high to low pulse, then only your 28H upper nipple will be present in the data pin. Similarly, assume that you have a 28H, perform left shift operation, reset the D4 to D7 pin of LCD, send lower nipples. Shift operation is particularly used for sending lower nipples, and other information is used for upper nipple. Again, make RS 0, RW 0, enable 1, enable 0. Therefore, one complete process should have register select 0, RW 0, enable high to low pulse, divide the data into upper nipple and lower nipple information. Okay, that's all about the sending the command. Similarly, you have to repeat the same process for data. Here the function name is different and operations is similar to writing the command. Assume that I want to display 79H, mask the lower bit, reset the data pins, send upper nibble by making RS0, RW0, enable high to low. Again, we want to perform shift operation, reset the LCD pin, send lower nibble, make RS0, RW0, enable high to low pulse, your data is successfully communicated. In this way, we can send the data as well as a command to the LCD. But what happens if I complete all the 32 characters in the LCD? You want to still display some data to be available on the LCD. You have to return to the first line, first position. Means you have to return to the home position. Home position is always 80, means first line, first position. From here onwards, you have to continue sending the data. Now this is the function for string operation. In the while loop, I am testing the condition that whether string is not equal to 0. Okay, until and unless you find a null character and don't have any null character, this loop will come out. If you have a character to be displayed, this loop will be executed. There is no limitation on how many characters to be displayed on the LCD. You can use 4 lines of data and 5 lines of data, but every time after completing 32 bits or 32 characters, you have to return to the home. Okay, in this way you have to program your LCD. Now the most important parameter you have to understand in the coding part is, shall I display the information from middle of your first line? Or I want to display from center position till second line end position. Yes, it's possible. You want to display your data like VVC from first line fifth position, you have to count the number of positions from 80, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. From 85, you can display the content 80. VVC. Similarly, if you want to utilize last column of second row, you have to use the command C0, count the number of position. From that position, you have to declare the variable as either C5, C6 or C9. From that particular position, your data will be displayed. Here I wrote a very big function to adjust the ASCII equivalent on the LCD. Okay, anyhow, we are giving this function as a header file. Once you come to the college to perform some projects on this, you need not to worry more about this. This is just a delay function to print all your input value on the LCD in a desired fashion with the appropriate delay. And last, the main program. Here we are initializing the devices. Here I am calling the function to work the LCD in 4-bit mode. And after selecting the LCD in 4-bit mode, I am deciding the direction and initializing the direction in 4-bit mode. And within a while loop, I wrote 4 important lines. LCD underscore cursor 1, 5. Okay, after that LCD underscore string spark 5. The first line gives information about spark 5 can be displayed from first row, fifth column. Next, robotics IND will display from second row, first column. Okay, 1, 5 is nothing but first row, fifth column. This line is second row, first column. Okay, let's see how we can do this with the help of Atmel Studio. Okay, anyhow, you are familiar with the Atmel Studio. I will directly display the results. You can observe that I will play one video to display the result eYantra Spark 5. I am pressing the reset button. You can observe that E-Yantra is displayed in first row, and Next Robotics IIT Bombay VVCE displayed in the second row. Actually, I have changed the data in my program. I explained the pseudo code, and in this way we can display the data in first line and second line. Here you can observe that I have displayed A and B by selecting different column. First row, first column, and first row, ninth column, first row, 11th column, and also I have displayed a smiley like information, colon and bracket. Okay, we usually type this symbol when we in the messenger like a smileys. Similarly, I can display those kind of smileys in the LCD, and these smileys are called as a moving picture that we can display over the LCD. Okay, here I displayed the same data in the second line by sending the command C0 in the second row, first column, second row, 10th column, second row, 14th column, and all the information which was displayed in the first line, the same data is being displayed in the second line. Okay, let's start with the Q&A section. First question is, if RS is 0, RW1, enable is 1, busy flag is set, can we write the data? Kindly answer in the chat box. RS is 0, RW1, enable is 1, busy flag is set. Can we write the data? Is it possible to write the data for this condition? Kindly answer in the chat box. I am waiting. No. Okay, very good answer. Sinchana, Kiran PS, Srikant, Tejaswini and Murthy. Tejasri Murthy, Sunita. Okay, good. Yes, we cannot write any information to the data because busy flag is set. If busy flag is set, we should avoid sending new communication. Next question is, which commands are used to initialize the LCD in 4-bit mode? Please type the commands required to use the LCD in 4-bit mode. Which commands are used to initialize the LCD in 4-bit mode? Kindly answer in the chat box. (28H). Only 28H is sufficient. 30H. No, wrong answer. Muhammad Ishaq. Okay. Fine. It's a 28H01. All those commands are called as LCD initialization in 4-bit mode. Only 28H is not sufficient. Okay, next question, which command is used to reset the LCD? Kindly answer in the chat box. Which command is used to reset the LCD? Oh, Karthik, Yashaswini, KL, reset. Okay, most of you are giving the wrong answer. Okay, no problem. To reset the LCD, we have to use 30H. We have to send it 3 times to initialize the LCD and to reset the LCD. Okay, 80H is for first line selection. Most of you answered wrong. Okay, the answer is 30H. We have to send it 3 times. Next question. Assume that LCD is displaying some garbage data what will you do to overcome this problem? Assume that LCD displaying some garbage data. What will you do to overcome this problem? Okay, very good. Jagat, Prajwal, Karthik, BG, Kiran, PS, Ulsam, Prashant, Ekde, 0x01. Yes, we had to reset we had to clear those data by sending the command 01h. We have a direct command for clearing the garbage value. 01h is the answer. Next question. What is the pulse duration required to latch the data or command in the LCD data pin? What is the pulse duration required to latch the data or command in the LCD data pins? No. 450 nanoseconds. The answer is 450 nanoseconds. Prashant Egde, you answered as 5 milliseconds. Okay, only one of them answered this question. The answer is 450 nanoseconds. Okay, that's all about the LCD interfacing. Okay, if you have any queries in the LCD interfacing, you can ask in the chat box. I will wait for 30 seconds. Because I have to start with the next experiment called ADC, which is extremely important to understand how we can interface this sensor and how we can convert those sensor values into digital equivalent. And this is very important to conduct prod. What frequency LCD operates? Okay, any other questions? Okay, Prashant has asked at what frequency LCD operates. Okay, it varies from microcontroller to microcontroller. Since we are using Atmega 16, LCD operates at 240 Hertz frequency. 240 Hertz frequency. But if you use the 32-bit microcontrollers and other microcontroller, this frequency will vary. Okay, for this Atmega 16 microcontroller, LCD operates at 240. Okay, similarly, any others can ask the queries here. If you don't have any queries, shall I start with the next experiment called ADC? Kindly ping in the chat box. Or do you need any break like 2 minutes or 3 minutes? Okay, shall I proceed? Okay. I will start with my next presentation. Okay, we will start with the analog to digital conversion. Start with analog to digital conversion on a Spark 5 robot. As we live in a world with various parameters like temperature, pressure, humidity, and the speed of light, and similarly, we may encounter various such signals in our day-to-day activities. Okay, basically all these signals like temperature, pressure, humidity are analog signals, but our computing devices like microcontroller, microprocessors are capable of performing processing operations on digital data. Okay, the world we live are completely analog signal, but our computing devices understand the data in digital form. Now it is very essential to convert all these analog signal into digital equivalent, and this conversion can be performed by using ADC. And to convert analog to digital data, ADC is very much essential in all embedded system application because our computing devices accept the data in digital form. If you consider a few examples on why we need ADC, this is the best example where you can understand. This is the best example where you can understand the importance of ADC. Okay. Presently, we have a air conditioner system with the intelligent image sensors, where this image sensors will capture how many people are available in the room area. Okay, this image sensor will identify the number of people with the room area of 150° and 7 meter. If only less number of people are available in the room, it will deliver the required cooling effect to those particular people. I can observe that here only one people is available where the cooling effect is delivered and the angle is changed. Once there is no people available in the carpet area, then automatically the AC will be switched off. Means image sensors is converting all the analog signal into digital equivalent, and this is processed by our computer like a microcontroller or microprocessor or DSP to convert the digital data, and the required operation is performed. And again, you can consider very good example for ADC. Here, human being speaks from his mouth. From his mouth, sound waves come out. Our human ears are very intelligent to convert all these sound waves into understandable words. This interpretation is performed mainly because of our human brain. Therefore, I can say that our human brain is completely analog in nature. Similarly, if I want to interpret the same sound waves using a microcontroller or DSP or microprocessor, I cannot directly send this sound waves to my DSP because our processor can understand only the data in digital form. So what I will do here, I will use the mic, I will record these sound waves, I will send this mic output to ADC. ADC will convert the analog signal to digital data, and this will be applied directly to a microcontroller or microprocessor or DSP. Based on some algorithm, processor will perform some computation and delivers the data. Similarly, if we want to reconstruct the same sound waves at the receiving end, we should use an important component called DAC, where we can reconstruct the same sound wave, and the same sound wave can be delivered as an output over the speaker. Okay, to clearly understand this process, I will play one more example. Here I am using a mic. The sound waves is being converted into digital equivalent by ADC. ADC will deliver the digital data to the DSP. DSP will perform some computation and the result will be stored in the memory. And after storing in the memory, at the other end, all the data stored in the memory will be converting into analog signal, because here we are using AD-DAC as a reconstructing mechanism. Here the same sound wave can be heard over a loudspeaker or just a speaker. Okay, this is one typical example for analog to digital converter and digital to analog converter. And we can find such applications in a various devices like a laptop, mobile phones, as well as the computers. A Spark 5 robot has a Atmega 16 microcontroller, and we sensors are basically used as a input devices, just like how we use our keyboard and mouse in our computer system. Okay, using our keyboard and mouse, what we do here, we input the required command to the processor. Similarly, the sensor will also receive the commands. It will sense the real environment, and all these sensed signals are completely receiving mechanism. Whereas the indicators are the devices which outputs the data after processing from the microcontroller. Okay, inside the Spark 5 robot, we have 3 white line sensor. We have 3 IR proximity sensor, which are referred as a directional light intensity sensor. We can have positional encoder, which is optional, and we can have ultrasonic range sensors, and we can mount servo mounted ultrasonic range sensors, and also we can monitor the battery voltage which is attached to our robot and display all this information after processing in either LCD, indicators LED, buzzer, as well as a battery low indication LED. Okay, the main important thing to carry from this slide is sensors are used for receiving the information and indicators are used to throw the information from the microcontroller. Okay, we will explore this further in the next experiments. Okay, and this is the robot which we are using in our Yantra lab, Spark 5 robot. You can observe that we have Atmega 16 microcontroller, and we have IR proximity sensors. I will start from left side. This IR proximity sensor consists of 2 important components: transmitter and receiver. The transmitter radiates the IR signal and receiver captures the reflection from the obstacle. Suppose if there is no obstacle available, the IR signal will radiate over a long distance. Okay, I have 2 components here, transmitter and a receiver. Transmitter will radiate the IR signal. Receiver or photodiode will receive the reflected light from the optical. If the optical is very near, the reflection value is very stronger. If there is no reflection, IR signal will radiate over the long distance. Okay, similarly, we have ultrasonic sensor 1, center ultrasonic sensor 2, and right ultrasonic sensor 3. And this is the back panel of a Spark 5 robot. Here we have white line sensors. Okay, even though the name is referred as a white line sensor, we can also sense the colors of different line where the reflection of each color varies. Okay, since as per the name is concerned, this white line sensor basically used to sense the white line. Additionally, we can also sense the black line and lines of different color, but in each case the amount of reflection will significantly vary. Okay, in addition to white line sensor, we have rechargeable batteries which can be connected to our robot by using removable. cables. Okay, this is the complete back panel of our Spark 5 robot. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, you can observe that we have three IR proximity sensors. IR sensor 1, this we call it as a left IR proximity sensor, center IR proximity sensor, and right IR proximity sensor. If we want to get the data from this left IR proximity sensor, we should be connected this to ADC channel 0 with the required address. If you want to get the data from IR proximity sensor 2 and 3, it is compulsory to use ADC channel number 1 and ADC channel number 2 with the respective addresses. Therefore, left IR proximity sensor 1 is connected to ADC 0, 2 is connected, center is connected to 1, and 3 is connected to 2. Okay, this channel selection is very important to make sure that through which IR proximity sensor, through which channel you are sensing the data. Similarly, we have ultrasonic range sensors. Okay, we have left ultrasonic range sensors, center ultrasonic range sensors, right IR ultrasonic range sensors. Can observe that the address of each of these ultrasonic sensors are same as that of IR proximity sensor, but the only difference here is it is not possible to use ultrasonic range sensors as well as. Why? Because we have the same addresses and it is connected to same channel number. Okay? Otherwise, we can do it in a different way. I want to use left IR proximity sensor, center as an ultrasonic, third one as an ultrasonic. Yes, it is definitely possible. But we cannot use ultrasonic and IR proximity sensors at the same time because it is connected to different channel numbers and addresses are same. Addresses will get overlap. Either one can be working at the same time. Okay, you should take care of. Okay. ADC conversion process. A ADC conversion process can be divided into three segments. First one is parameter adjustment process, channel selection process, and conversion process. To how we watch the videos in mobiles and video application, where we adjust various parameters like brightness as well as volume, and in between while watching the video, in between while listening to the audio, we adjust our volume controls repetitively. Similarly, if we want to ensure that analog to digital conversion process is proper, we have to adjust the parameters in the ADC of our Atmega 716 robot. Okay, after adjusting the parameter, we have to select the required channel. Okay, after selecting the channel, we have to initiate the process of conversion. Let's look at each of these process, how we can do this. Firstly, with the parameter adjustment process, we have to enable the LCD. We have to select the ADC frequency. We have to select the ADC resolution. We have to select the ADC voltage range, and we have to look at how we can ensure the ADC to work in a power reduction mode operation. Okay, these 5 steps are required, and these parameters should be adjusted in order to successfully convert your analog to digital conversion parameter adjustment process. Okay, how we can do this? So firstly, I have to enable this ADC, and we have to select the ADC frequency. This ADC frequency has a frequency range of 50 kilohertz to 200 kilohertz. And these two can be accomplished by an important register called ADC SRA. ADC SRA is nothing but ADC control and status register A, and this register is basically 8-bit register. In this 8-bit register, you can observe that bit number 7 is ADEN. ADEN is nothing but a ADC enable pin, and this pin must be programmed to 1 in order to enable the ADC. Okay. Again, I will repeat, you have to enable bit number 7 in ADC SRA register. You must push the logic 1 to this particular bit position without altering remaining bit position in ADC SRA. Okay. Similarly, ADPS2, ADPS1 and ADPS0. Okay, this particular bit should be programmed as 110. In this particular bit position, we call it as a prescaler value. The main reason for doing this prescaling operation is that our microcontroller works at a frequency of 7.3 megahertz, but the ADC which we have in our Atmega 16 works at a frequency of 50 kilohertz to 200 kilohertz. Okay? Core frequency is 7.3 and ADC frequency is 50 kilohertz, which is comparatively low when compared to the frequency of our microcontroller. Therefore, we have to divide it by some prescaler value. I'm dividing it by a factor of 64 by sending the prescaler value as 110. If I send 110 to this bit position, I can divide the core clock frequency of 7.3 megahertz by a factor of 64. Roughly, you will get around 115 kilohertz to operate your LCD. The main reason for doing this prescaling is that to ensure synchronization between the microcontroller with the ADC. Okay, not only this prescaling value is sufficient, we can try with increasing the speed of operation and decreasing the speed of operation, reducing and increasing the clock frequency by a factor of 32 and 128. If you choose 32, the operating frequency will increase. If you divide the core frequency by 128, the clock frequency will reduce further. And we have checked and we have found that the conversion process is successful only for this optimal frequency range of prescaling value 110 with a division factor of 64. Now, overall, I want to set this particular register. Tell me what is the EXA equivalent to make this register to configure those particular pins. Ping in the chat box. I have to push logic 1 to enable logic 110 to bit number 2, 1 and 0. Tell me the hexadecimal equivalent for this particular register. ADC SRA is equal to what? What is the hexa equivalent to set this particular bit? ADC SRA equal to? What is the hexa equivalent of this? Please answer in the chat box. Yes, exactly. The register content of ADC SRA is 0x86. 86H is the hexa equivalent to use your bit number 7, bit number 2 and 1. Okay, Mohan, Sunita, Yashaswini, KL, Lasya, Kusum, Jain has answered correctly. Yes, very good. Okay, now so far we have enabled the ADC. We have selected the operating frequency by enabling the bit number 7, bit number 2, 1 and 0 in ADCRC register. The next step is to use the ADC voltage range and ADC resolution. Okay, before going to ADC voltage range, let's see what is the ADC resolution. ADC resolution is nothing but how many number of discrete values we can produce over the conversion of analog to digital conversion. And ADC resolution can be given by this formula. V resolution equal to V's full scale by 2 power of n minus 1. Suppose if V full scale is 5 volts and n can be either 10 or 8 because the ADC has a highest resolution of 10 bits. If we choose n equal to 10, that is 10 bit resolution, the smallest possible change that can observe is 4.87 millivolt. Similarly, if we choose n equal to 8, the maximum smallest change that I can observe is 19.67. Since as per the academic projects concerned with the SparkFire robot, 8-bit resolution is more than sufficient for us because we can spare 2-bit for some other application. Okay, as per the accuracy level desired, we can choose either 10-bit or we can choose either 8-bit. In either case, obviously, if resolution decreases, accuracy is increasing. If resolution increases, accuracy decreases. Okay, in order to interpret this complete information, let me consider 10-bit data as 111111. If we convert this binary data into a decimal equivalent, this is the result I got. Similarly, I will consider the same 10-bit, 8-bit, 10-bit information where I will mask the least significant 2-bit. After masking this least significant 2-bit, I will transform this binary code into decimal equivalent and the corresponding result is found to be 1020. Okay, here I have chosen 10-bit data but I have not performed any masking. Here I have chosen 8-bit data but the least significant 2 bits are masked. But after conversion, can observe that the result of first one is not drastically different from the second one. Only the 3 bits, bit number 21, 22 and 23, only few bits are masked. The result is not drastically changing. This accuracy is completely acceptable. Therefore, instead of going for 10-bit resolution, we can work with 8-bit resolution. Okay. Therefore, using 10-bit resolution for our project is a waste of utilizing unused bits. Therefore, 8-bit resolution is more than sufficient for our project. Let's say how we can do this masking operation with the help of an important register called ADC, left adjustment bit. ADC left adjustment bit is called as ADLAR, and we have two cases here. To transform the 10-bit result to 8-bit result, we have to make this particular bit as 1. If ADLAR is 0, can observe that the most significant information, that is bit 9 and 8, is available in ADCH register and remaining information is available in ADCL register. But I want to utilize 8-bit resolution. To utilize the 8-bit resolution to store the ADC result, we have to make ADLAR as 1. If ADLAR 1, all the MSB information, that is ADC 9 to ADC 2, will be pushed to ADCH and least significant 2 bits are completely masked. Okay, in this way we can store and represent the converted results of ADC using ADCH. Okay, again I will repeat, if ADLAR is 0, all the converted result will be available in ADCL and most significant 2 bit will be available in ADCH. What we want all the 8-bit result will be available in ADCH and a least significant 2-bit should be discarded. This is possible by making ADLAR as 1. If ADLAR is 1, we can transform the result and represent the result from ADC9 to ADC2 and pushing that to ADCH by truncating or masking the least significant 2-bit. This conversion can be done by using ADLAR as 1. Then how to set this ADLAR as 1? We have to use an important register called ADMUX. In ADMUX, again it's an 8-bit register. To make ADLAR as 1, we have to use and program bit number 5. If we program ADLAR in bit number 5 as 1, we can utilize ADCH register where we can store the converted result of ADC in ADCH register. And then how we can select the voltage range. The ADC voltage range can be controlled by programming to bit number 7 and bit number 6. If we make these two pins as 0, 0, our operating voltage for ADC will be in the range of 0 to 5 volts. Okay, suppose if we programming it to 1, 1, I can utilize 0 to 2.5 volts as a reference voltage for my conversion process. Therefore, in this case, we are using 0 to 5 volts as a reference voltage. We must program bit number 7 and bit number 6 as 0 and 0. Therefore, we have a question here. I have to make ADLAR as 1. REFS 1 and REFS as 0, 0. What is the EXA equivalent I had to push to this particular register? ADMUX EXA value will be ADMUX equal to 0x. Kindly answer in the chat box. I want to make bit number 7, bit number 6 and bit number 5. Bit number 5 as 1, bit number 7 and 6 as 0 and 0. Tell me the EXA code for ADMUX register. Okay, I am asking this. What is the EXA code for this? 0010 0000? 40? No, it's the wrong answer, Kusum. Okay, I want to make this particular register value. Yes, Karthik BG20, Jagat Madhappa, Kiran PS, Sinchana, Umesh Averia. Okay, answer exactly. The ADMUX register content should be 20 because we are not disturbing other pins. We are programming only bit number 7, 6 and 5. Okay, next. To ensure the ADC to work in a power reduction mode, we have to use an important register called analog comparator control and status register. This register is basically an 8-bit register where our job is to program bit number 7. Okay, this bit number 7 is called as analog comparator disable bit. If we program it to 1, we can disable the comparators of two ADC where comparison is going on, and we can ensure that our ADC will work in power reduction mode. Okay, this bit we have to make it 1 to disable the comparators of ADC. If we program it to 0, yes, of course, ADC will still work, but it consumes more power. There will be a significant increase in our power during the conversion process. We do not want to consume more power by the ADC. We want to work the ADC in power reduction mode. To work in a power reduction mode, this bit should be programmed as 1. Now tell me what is the content of ADCR if I program bit number 7 as 1. Okay. What is the content of ACSR if I make this particular bit as 1? You have to read the complete register content. Yes, Sinchana, Kuchum Rain, Jeevan, William, Kiran PS has answered correctly. ACR equal to 0x 80. Yes, very good. Kalasya, Shrikant, Kavya, Sunita, Mohan has answered correctly. Yes, exactly. The content of ACSR is 0x80. Okay, now let's look into the channel selection process. So far we have discussed only parameter adjustment process. The next step is to select the required channel. A channel selection involves selecting a ADC channel number and sending the corresponding address to AD MUX register. Okay, these two steps are very important because if we want to use a left proximity sensor, we have to select the proper channel number and proper address from the channel number. This is possible by performing two steps: selecting channel number, selecting channel address to AD MUX register. Let's see how we can do this. Selecting a channel number. Here I wrote a small code with a variable name ch. This ch is used to capture the channel address or required desired channel. What I am doing here, I had to perform the ch logical AND operation with 07. Why I wrote a 07? Let's see how we can do this. Can assume that the channel address is given as 01, that is ch equal to 01. After performing logical AND operation with 07 in hexadecimal, let's see what is the result. What is the result of performing logical AND operation between 1 and 7? Kindly answer in the chat box. 01 itself. See, after doing the AND operation, the result is always the desired channel which we have already assumed in the ch variable. Okay. Here the address is also same. We are getting the channel number and the corresponding address by performing logical AND operation. Similarly, clearing others if any. Okay, if any other channels are selected, that can be neglected by clearing it. Suppose if we want to use ch as 06, what is the result after performing logical AND operation with 06? Same 06 will be captured from the ch variable. Therefore, by performing the AND operation with 07, we are getting the desired channel number and clearing other channels if any which was previously used. The next process is AD MUX. Okay, we have already explained this. We have completed sending ADLARS1 RF00 by programming it as 00. Now I want to utilize bit number 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Okay, as I explained earlier in the previous slide, we have captured the channel number, but still we have not sent the address of it. The address can be sent using bit number 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. We have 5-bit address for each channel that should be programmed to this AD MUX without disturbing other particular bits in the AD MUX register. Let's see how we can do this. Okay, AD MUX was 0x20. To utilize the channel address effectively, I am doing a logical OR operation with ch. If you do logical OR operation of ch with a 20, appropriate address can be selected without disturbing ADLAR content and a reference voltage content in the other registers. Okay. Next one is channel selection. Okay. I am repeating here. We have used ch equal to ch AND of 07. We have selected desired channel number. To utilize the channel address effectively, we have performed
20 logical OR with the CH in the AD mux without disturbing reference voltage and ADLIR bit. And the last step in the ADC conversion process is to start the conversion, wait for the conversion, and end of the conversion. Start conversion can be done by using ADC SRA. If you recall that we have already completed this particular register content in the earlier slide, where we have enabled bit 7. Apart from enabling, we have not performed programming to any particular bit. To initiate the start of conversion, we have to program this particular bit position as 1. Okay, I want to ensure that only bit number 6 is 1 without disturbing other pins. What is the EXA code we can get here? Kindly answer in the chat box. What is the content of ADC SRA to start the conversion without disturbing others? Yes, Neha, Suresh, Sum Jain, Lasya, Sinchana, Sunita, D1 William. ADC SRA is equal to, write the complete instruction. ADC SRA equal to ADC SRA logical OR with, write the command such that this ADEN is not getting disturbed. Okay, Prajwal BV ADC SRA equal to ADC SRA OR of 0x40. Excellent, very good answer. I want the command for this. The command is ADC SRA equal to ADC SRA logical OR with 0x40. Therefore, to initiate the start of conversion, we have to program bit number 6 without disturbing bit number 7. Saujanya, Kavya, Sinchana has answered. Okay, very good. Okay, after starting the conversion, ADC will take some time to complete the conversion process. To ensure that the end of conversion is successfully completed, we have to wait for the conversion process. Sensor will get the analog signal. After making start of conversion bit as 1, we have to wait for some time to get the conversion completed. And during this conversion process, we have to monitor an important flag in ADC SRA register. That ADC SRA register flag can be programmed by ADIF. Bit number 4 should be continuously monitored. And so when a conversion is, if this particular bit indicates 0, it means that the conversion process is complete. Here I wrote a small code while ADC SRA AND of 0x10 is equal to 0. Until the conversion process result becomes 0, we have to repeat the loop, and as soon as the ADIF becomes 0, it indicates that the process is successfully completed, and one set of analog signal is completed conversion into digital form. And after one complete successful process, we have to make this particular bit as 1. 0 indicates end of conversion, and to start with a new conversion process, we have to make this bit as 1. This can be performed by using this instruction. ADC SRA equal to ADC SRA logical OR with 0x10. Okay, this instruction works to start with a new conversion, and this while loop gives the result 0 to indicate the end of conversion process. And these are the addresses of each sensors in our robot. If I want to get the data from left eye proximity sensor, you should use ADC channel pin 0 and the corresponding addresses 0000. If you want to use a center white line sensor, these sensors are connected to ADC channel 4 and the corresponding addresses 000100. Or if you want to monitor the status of what is the voltage of the battery attached in the SparkFire robot, The corresponding address is 000,110. And you can observe that all the sensors in our robot are connected to the same port and the pin numbers are sequential. Port A0, port A1 till port A7 and ADC channel 0 to ADC channel 7. Okay, totally 8 analog input channels are available where all the sensors are actually connected. Okay. Okay, these things you already know in the LCD experiment. I will skip this part. Let me explain the programming part. Okay, header file section. Okay, here I am utilizing 7.3 megahertz and calling the interrupt header file, IO header file, and delay header file. But here the one important header file I am adding it as lcd.h. I'm not writing any separate program, lengthier program for LCD. I'm utilizing the LCD file which I explained in the previous presentation. I'm using those program as a header files in the ADC experiments. Okay, after header file, I'm configuring the pin. Since the sensors act like an input, we have to receive the data from the external environment. All the port pins of the ADC channel should be configured as an input. Therefore, DDRA is 00 and the corresponding value that I am writing to that particular pin is 00. Means I am turning off the sensor initially. After that, I will sense the environment with the help of various sensors. After pin configuration, I am initializing the ADC. Okay. The number 86, 20 and 80 you have already come across in the earlier presentation. We have already discussed this in the previous slide. ADCSR, ADMux and ACSR. And now this is the function which I wrote for selecting the desired channel along with the address. I already explained this also. Suppose if I want to use a left proximity sensor 01, 01 I will do and with the 07, the result will be 01. I'm doing a logical OR operation with the 20 in order to get the corresponding channel address and programming it using ADMux. Okay, after this, I am initiating the start of conversion process by doing ADSRA equal to ADCSRA logical OR with 40. Okay, after initiating the start of conversion, I am monitoring the end of conversion by this while loop. If the ADIF gives 0, it indicates end of conversion. After end of conversion, I will store the result in ADCH. I have already discussed this while in the ADLAR to transform the 10-bit result into 8-bit result. We are using ADCH register and we are storing the result of ADCH in the unsigned character variable A. Okay, after end of conversion, suppose if I want to initiate the new sensor to sense the parameter, I want to set ADIF flag as 1. To make this ADIF flag as 1, I am doing a logical OR operation of ADCSRA with 0x10. This instruction will reset the ADIF flag from 0 to 1. Earlier, due to this while loop, EDIS was 0. Now I am purposefully making this bit as 1 to initiate the new conversion process. And here I am choosing in the LCD in which row, in which column and in which sensor you want to display the sensed result in the LCD. And this function gives the overall information of how to display the results in the LCD, in which row and in which column we can display this particular sensor value. And this is the main program. Here I have configured the ADC pins. I am using a 4-bit LCD mode. I am configuring the ADC pin. Here I configured the port. I am initializing the ADC. And in the while loop, I am printing all the sensor values. Can observe that if we want to sense the data from the left proximity sensor and displaying the sensed value in first row, first column with the sensor value. 0 indicate channel address. Okay, 0 indicates channel address. Similarly, if you want to get the data from white line sensor, left to white line sensor, I'm displaying it in second row, first column, and the address of the channel is 3. Okay, you can refer the table in the previous slide to know the addresses of each of the sensors. Okay, in my first case, I am displaying the IR proximity sensor output. Okay, here I'm using my hand to as an obstacle for each of the IR sensors. You can observe that as soon as the obstacle is very near to the IR proximity sensor, the reflected value is very strong, hence the values are decreasing. Can keep the threshold value for this each of this proximity sensor based on how the reflected signal varies from each of the obstacles. Can observe that the values are decreasing. I'm testing the IR sensor output based on my obstacle. If there is no obstacle, the values are significantly increasing. Okay, here I am testing white line sensor output. Okay, here white line sensor, the reflection signal is very maximum, the values are decreasing. Similarly, I am testing the white line sensor output on black surface. Since there is a maximum absorption from the black surface, the threshold values are increasing. Okay, from this video, you can differentiate that how we can use the threshold values for black and white, and you can set your threshold value. If anything less than 50, it means that it is white line, and any threshold value it is greater than 150 or 100, it is nothing but your black line values. Okay, these particular values are very important when you do a line following experiment, because we may face a different combination of white and black line during the path. Okay, that's all about the ADC. Now, answer my first question. Which color completely absorbs IR radiation with a minimum reflection? Kindly answer. Which color completely absorbs IR radiation with a minimum reflection? Yes, black also, Mohan, Sinchana, Edlin, Sarisa, and okay, that's very good. Answer is correct. Minimum reflection will be from black color. Which color gives maximum reflection? Tell me the answer for this. Which color gives maximum reflection? Okay, very good. Karthik, BG, Mohan, Lasya, Kusum, Jain, Tejashri answered correctly. It's a white color. Answer my third question. What can be the threshold value to differentiate white and black color? What can be the threshold value to differentiate white and black color? Okay, you saw the video, right? Whenever there is an obstacle or reflection, threshold value varies. If the threshold value is greater than 150, it is considered as black. If it is less than 50, greater than 100 is also considered as black. Less than 50 as white. Greater than 100 as black, less than 100 as white. Next question. If white line sensor reading is 200, it is detecting dash color. If white line sensor reading is 200, It is detecting dash color. Okay, black color, Zueria, Disha, Kiran, Sinchana, Prerana, Kiran PS. Okay, very good. You're answering nicely. Next question. Very good, Priyanka, Kiran. If white line sensor reading is 30, it is detecting dash color. Srikant, Kiran, Sneha, Suresh, Disha. Okay, exactly. They're detecting white color. Last one. If center IR proximity sensor value is 120, obstacle is detected. Say yes or no. If center IR proximity sensor value is 120, obstacle is detected or not? Obstacle is okay. So Sagar, Edwin, Sarisa has answered correctly. Disha, Rachana. Okay, fine. Okay, that's all about the ADC experiment, and make sure that ADC is very important, and this is the heart of the robotics. If you want to work with a robotic application, you should know the concept of ADC thoroughly. Okay, as our main objective is to carry you guys to the Yantra competition, we will do a next workshop on a higher level application with the various sensors where we actually start with the ADC as a fundamental. Okay. If you have any queries, kindly ping me in the chat box. Any doubts? If you have any question, you can ask in the chat box. A quiz and attendance link will be sent within evening. Kindly answer the quiz and mark the attendance in the attendance link. Okay, we will get back to you tomorrow, same time. Okay, at 10:30 today. Okay, but 10 o'clock tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Sharp 10:30 a.m. We will meet again. Okay. Thank you.